Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm really excited today to make this video because I'm going to share to you about two incidents that are recorded. Of course, there are many, but these have come across as genuine experience of reality, a sudden spark of experience of reality. And I'm going to share with you so that you can understand how reality is and what reality is all about. That I've been talking in my previous videos. So without wasting much time, let us begin. The first experience is by a bullfighter. In the middle of a bullfight, he is a famous bullfighter, Mr. Toro Monera from Colombia. In the middle of a bullfight, suddenly he sees the reality and he collapsed with remorse in the middle of a bullfight. And he sees that how he has been prompting the otherwise gentle beast to fight. He wanted him to be his opponent, but the beast refused, and he could see in his eyes. These are the quotes of Mr. Toro Monera. And suddenly I looked at the bull. He had this innocence that all animals have in their eyes. And he looked at me with this pleading. It was like a cry for justice deep down inside of me. I describe this as a prayer. Because of one confess, it is hope that one is forgiven. I felt like the worst shit on the earth. The fighter who has been fighting brutally for so many years with the bull suddenly realized it is a futile effort to fight a beast. And he could connect with the animal. This is what reality is all about. Suddenly you realize the impact that you have been doing, that you are affecting the bull, is of no use. The harm that you incur on the bull has been an imagination of the mind. And the glory of a bullfight, the tradition of a bullfight, the idea of becoming immortal through a particular action is just an imagination, a thought process which is not real. Suddenly he realized. And that too happened in the middle of fight. And he became one of a champion, anti-bullfighting champion in his country. And probably he has stopped bullfighting in his own country. This is one example that you must read, check and find out. That is how reality is all about. Suddenly you realize that it is all a waste. I'm going to talk to you about the second example, very well educated, a NASA scientist. Nobody can be educated more than a NASA scientist who has learned and known a lot of things, typically better than everyone. Edgar Mitchell, he was in Apollo 14, 1971, when he was in Apollo and he was returning. And he was returning from from moon. In his words, in the spaceship he was, finished his project, returning back to Earth, and suddenly what he sees. And because there is no atmosphere in the space, Mitchell said everything looked 10 times brighter on Earth. As he stared out the window, and an unforgettable feeling of ecstasy and unity washed over him. He felt connected to the stars on a subatomic level. He is using terms subatomic because he's a scientist. He has studied subatomic. Remember, the knowledge pattern of an individual is what he studies. So if he was not a scientist, somebody else, he would have used a different term. Subatomic level with his body, his crew, and even his spacecraft. In this book, The Way of Explore, he wrote, "It occurred to me that the molecule of my body and the molecule of the spaceship itself were manufactured long ago in the furnace of one of the ancient stars that burn in the heavens above me." He said every time he looked out to the window during the 3-day trip back to Earth, he had an incredible, overwhelming experience of joy. What has happened with this scientist? Incredible knowledge. He has even, in fact, written a book. Post that, he has become a social worker, a lot of work he has done. Lot of studies, lot of education, scientific education he has done. But the moment of truth, when the spark hit him, the truth, the observation hit him, he could see reality. He could see how meaningless it was for all the trifles that we have on earth. He has become an advocate of one consciousness. This is not a spiritual thing that I'm talking about. This is actuality. Because when you live your day, you have a lot of issues, personal issues, your job related issues, your career, your creativity. How do you see reality? When you see reality, that is where magic happens. Otherwise, you are just in your thought. And in your thought creates pseudo-reality, which is of no impact. All the creativity that you see around the world are absolutely false, an imagination of the mind, an imagination of the thought. That's why you have suffering, you have conflict, and you have so much of brutality around the world. Actual reality is not brutal. Actual reality is something else. And that magic you have to see for yourself, because that is where a person begins to experience absolutely unity. And not a spiritual thing, absolutely not. Nobody cares you are spiritual or not. It is a pure natural observation that is there. You are observing in some of the moments, but you are just letting it go because you're not understanding it. You have to start living on those fresh experiences, not on thought. Thought is a pattern. Thought requires a goal. Thought requires an agenda. You don't have an agenda, you have nothing else in your life. But that is not what reality is. Reality is pure observation, and it is not same. Of course, it can't be same. Even mathematical theories are there. Theory of uncertainty is an explanation of how every event is not similar. But you are not able to observe it because your mind is occupied in thought, in agendas, in concepts. Wake up to this reality and see how a fresh experience can transform you, open windows for you, and which you have never imagined. And then your one life would be enough to experience everything as a whole. Good day, my friends. Good day.